Hi there, Aquarius. Welcome to your April 2024 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Interesting. I just picked that card in the upright position for another sign, so I'm going to pick an additional card or two. I'm getting some very okay. I want to say, I'm trying to think astrologically what's going on with you for April. Because there's a lot of emotional energy here. So, okay. In March, there was a full moon in your 8th house in Virgo. Virgo is your 8th house. Of course, it's a general kind of a thing. So 8th house is Scorpio's domain, and it connects with death, other people's money. Both of these issues could be at play here. So yeah, like when I say other people's money, inheritance in some cases. And even the month before that, or actually in late January, it would have been. Oh yeah, come to think of it, that full moon was actually in late February, not in March. But yeah, in recent months, that is your 7th house of committed partnership. The reason I'm bringing up full moons is it could be endings. And so there might be something, this is the past position, the 5 of Cups, of mourning the loss of someone. So this would be something that already happened. And, I suppose even with career matters, that these kinds of things can take place for some of you. You've had hits to your career sector, the 10th house to your midheaven, which is, Scorpio, that energy of the eclipses, and your home life, because the 4th house represents that. You actually, come to think of it, you had one in late October, and a lunar eclipse in Taurus, 4th house, where, by the way, Jupiter currently is. So that's a really bright spot, and Jupiter and Uranus are hooking up. I have an astrological forecast for Aquarius for April already on my channel, so you can check that out for the details, but you could have some nice surprises with that. The heart of the matter is the King of Cups. So this is sensitive male energy. There's a pendant that shows a fish, so maybe it is connected to Pisces. I've never seen a certain water sign that is represented by the King of Cups, but I assume that Pisces could certainly be one of them. And so this could be all about consulting a therapist or a healer because of this emotional stuff that has come up for you. I always associate the King of Swords with Aquarius because of you know, the aloofness, or the, you could just call it like detachment, the ultimate detachment. You think of the king as the ultimate. So it's kind of interesting that I'm getting the King of Cups. But I wonder if this is some of you where your emotions are really being activated. I did a video about like somebody with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Scorpio, and I was so tickled by all the responses because apparently there are a lot of you out there with that combination of that. That's a very complicated combination for sure. But any, water sign for your moon sign, if you're an Aquarius, that can be quite something to have to navigate. So maybe this is bringing out that watery side of yourself. But yeah, or you could even be talking to someone, consulting a healer about your feelings, and they could be very strong at this time. The higher message is the King of Wands, stepping into your power. Something may have, and yeah, and I could see like career matters not going your way, possibly doing this, where it was kind of like a shock to the system. And it definitely can make somebody feel disempowered. It can hit that power chakra, which is the third chakra, and make somebody feel like they don't have control over things. And that's not a good feeling. I mean, I think we all intellectually know we can't control everything, but I think a lot of people think if they work for somebody else, that if they just show up on time and they do what they're told, that they're going to be able to keep their job. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And so if it's something like that, or somebody dying that you don't expect to die, that's younger than should die, or even if they're older, they were just very healthy and then they're just gone and it doesn't seem right or fair, that can really affect how we feel, affect our emotions for sure. So stepping in your power means, first of all, with wands, I think of a lot of positivity, which means that we frame things in a way that makes them easier to accept. And it's not this thing of like, psychologically bypassing. It's simply that we're able to sit with and identify feelings. Sometimes people are angry when really they are feeling grief, and it's easier for them to feel anger. The King of Wands is more, I would say of all the emotions, would tend more to the fiery emotions, but it's not about being angry in an out of control way, but of owning your ability to feel strong emotions and still not feel out of control. What crosses you is the Page of Wands. Again, the Page of Wands in the upright, I'm reading it like as a reverse card, since that would be more on the negative side, is good news, something that you're enthusiastically pursuing, that's a new pursuit, and this is blocked, or it's the opposite of that. It can be that it's almost like, why did this have to happen? Why did I have to hear about this? Like it spoiled your mood. It put a damper on something that you were planning on. So let's say kings can be fathers. So if that's that father energy, if you have lost your father recently, this message may be for you in particular, Aquarius. This idea of things happening when you don't want them to happen. Maybe you were planning to visit and then that person passed away right before you were going to go there, or you were putting something off and now you feel guilty about it. And you have to understand that, well, you don't have to understand, but I believe that, I believe in divine timing. I believe that in divine order, I should say, even when it seems very messy on the surface. I believe that these things are not happening randomly, and that no one should ever blame themselves if they were not in the right place with a person who passes away, because there was a reason that you felt compelled to be in that space. It's not like it just happened randomly that you decided that you either had a difficult relationship with that person, or, things like that. And actually, with the King of Cups and the King of Wands, if this is somebody that was like a father to you, it doesn't have to literally be your father, but a grandfather, somebody who, stepfather who was very supportive of you, even like a minister, if you grew up in the church and there was like that strong male presence. But the King of Wands is the divine masculine to me. It's like that really strong. It doesn't have to be physical in strength, but that male energy that's very unwavering and nurturing in its own way. If you had somebody like that pass away, this individual may be trying to let you know that they're fine and that there's nothing wrong. Maybe they had their own way of doing things. The King of Cups can be, maybe the King of Cups, sometimes I would say the King of Cups wouldn't be overly emotional unless it was like a reversed version of this. So we can just say a water element and fire element. If this person was a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. As an Aquarius, maybe you didn't see eye to eye because that person was coming from the emotions and you were coming from your mind. But that doesn't mean that, you didn't have a deep connection. What's coming in is the Four of Wands. This is here's another wand, celebratory, that has to do with the domestic side of life. I don't know if this deals with getting together for some kind of ceremony or anything of that nature. If it was like a funeral, it wouldn't be very somber. In other words, with fire, it's more like the celebration. So I feel like with the Five of Cups, maybe this was a delayed memorial service. The Four of Wands, though, can be a new house. So again, there may be other people involved in this situation that could complicate matters, because I did get a few difficult cards. So if this is like from a will, and maybe it involves a house or family members, we have the Eight of Wands in the challenge position. So that can indicate that something is, Eight of Wands can be like some things getting going. So there may be a delay in everything getting going. I feel like for some reason, Aquarians are dealing with delays. You have Pluto in your sign. So that may be why I'm getting these intense cards, because it's just entered again, and it's going to enter a third time too, in the late fall, or for those of you down under, in November, late spring, I guess, for you. But so anyway, this it can be something that's activated. I would say I'll tell you my feelings on that. Let's see. Probably in August or September, early September might be when things are more um, going on with that. But who knows? This is just a general reading. Four of Cups, sense of dissatisfaction, disappointment. Could be disappointment in people because we have the Five of Swords. This can be backbiting, gossip, empty victory, winning the battle but losing the war, and that definitely happens with probate matters in particular. And you can even talk about if you've had a divorce. This could also be the case because you may be. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some Aquarians who maybe you fell in love with somebody else and you're waiting to finalize your divorce. Or perhaps you haven't even undertaken that, and that's why the Eight of Wands is. I think actually it probably has gone further than that, and there's some other type of delay. But the Five of Swords can be other people's opinions of you or the situation. And that's pretty annoying. I will give you that. But it's temporary. And so I picked the clarification card because I got 3 cards that were pretty tough. So I kept picking until I got one that was more positive, not because I'm trying to sugarcoat anything, but life is not all negative. We have positive and negative. And I do want to end on a good note. And we have the Six of Cups. This is the good old days. This is childhood. So one of the early cards was grief, and then I end up in the heart of the matter card was King, which can be the father. So when somebody is in the throes of grief, any kind of memory can be painful. But then later on, the person has healed and they can remember those past, and they can think fondly on those, memories that were so dear to them. So, so that nostalgia. But also, if this reading has more to do with your career matters, there may be something from your childhood that you've always wanted to do, and now you're kind of going for it. And that's the King of Wands is like taking charge of that. And not, instead of having these doubts that hold people back and all of that stuff, but really taking charge of that. And feeling like, hey, I can do this. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to do it. And maybe feeling resolved that you are going to do it. So, yeah. So, I think also this is a card of soulmate. So, if you feel like you didn't want to be divorced or broken up with someone, that this opens you up for the soulmate. Because you don't want, if somebody else was the one who instigated a divorce or, the relationship breaking up and you were against it, you don't want to be with that person because you want to be with somebody who, is committed the way you are. So this opens you up to your soulmate, Aquarius. This is a soulmate card. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.